Welcome to CNB Bazaar Buzz. I'm Siddharth Vinayak Partner. We'll get cracking and go straight into what's coming up on today's show. It's the long-awaited facelift on the Mahindra Scorpio. We have all the details. The Triumph Street Triple RS is hot and happening, and we have that review. And it's a peek into Royal Enfield's tech centre in the UK. So let's get started then with the Scorpio. Now, when the car first came out in its second generation, after such a long wait, the criticism was that it didn't really look like a new generation, it looked more like an update. And then within that, people found fault with some of the design features, especially the front grille and the rear door. Those are two of the major areas addressed in what's looking like a pretty major update on the car as well. It also gets a tad more powerful, and the overall finish and fit has also improved. Here are details.
There is a lot brewing in the SUV space in India, and Mahindra, being one of the biggest players, has been losing out on some of the action of late. Its flagship model has been updated in the hope of making up for some lost ground. Mahindra hasn't fiddled much when it comes to the looks of the new Scorpio. Well, yes, there is a bit of change there. As you can see, there is a new front grille which has the 7-slot, very traditional grille, that too. There are new fog lamps on offer, there is a new skid plate, and at the rear there is no black applique now near where the number plate used to be. So overall, it's just about making subtle changes to make it look more contemporary and more sophisticated. And I think with this one, Mahindra has pulled it off pretty well. It's available in 4 variants, S3, S5, S7 and S11, and we got the top spec version which comes loaded with features. There's dark grey 4-leather seat upholstery embellished with a dark blue weave pattern that goes well with the cabin. The gear lever and the steering wheel are also wrapped in the same leather. In terms of equipment, it gets a new reverse parking camera with reverse guidance to help you park. Other features like the touchscreen infotainment system, micro-hybrid technology, tire pressure monitoring system, rain sensing wipers and automatic headlamps have been carried over from the previous model. Sadly, the Scorpio misses out on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a feature which it will get next year according to Mahindra. On the safety front, the SUV comes with dual airbags and ABS in all variants, except the base S3. But updated features is just one part of the story. The other big change is to the heart. The Scorpio has got the 2.2-litre M-Hog diesel engine. Well, it's nothing different than what it had before. However, it's got a much needed update, which is why it now churns out 140 brake horsepower, which is 20 more than before, and there's 320 Newton meters of torque on offer. Now there's a Borg & Warner turbocharger that it gets, which kicks in at around 1500 RPM and stays with you till about 3250 RPM. And that is good because that shows that this car now has a strong mid-range. The ride is the same as before, but NVH levels are down. It also gets a new 6-speed manual transmission, which has been developed in-house, and according to the folks at Mahindra, there is attention to detail given as to how the shifts actually are. So they are smooth and they are wonderful to drive, so they slot in well. The only annoying part in all of this is finding reverse, and yes, it's a bit of a challenge, but once you get used to it, that's not a problem. Now all these changes and updates have come at a price. The old look has been done away with, but the old 75 brake horsepower engine is still available in the base S3 variant. Hence, prices start from 9,97,000 rupees, while the more powerful 2.2-litre engine is available in the S7 and S11 variants. and that costs between 12,99,000 rupees and goes all the way up to 16,01,000 rupees, making it more expensive than the comparable Tata Safari Storm variants and just shy of the Tata Hexa and the Mahindra's own XUV 500. So it doesn't come cheap and it still has some rough edges. But for those who always wanted a sting in the tail of that Scorpio, well, this one's right up your alley.
I'm Naik there with the new Scorpio. Now we move on and talk about the Street Triple RS from Triumph. Now the new generation of that bike also came out about a year ago. We got the S variant first and we had to wait patiently for the monster, the RS, to show up. Now this is the bike that is all about performance. It's also a lot about fun, and it keeps things in a very sort of sporty zone simply because the new generation overall has gotten more efficient. It's lither as well. Pritam Bora spent time with it. Here's the review.
It's compact, it's light, it's fast, and it's very, very powerful. Meet the Triumph Street Triple RS, the top of the line racetrack-ready variant of the all-new Triumph Street Triple family. The Street Triple has always been an easy-to-ride yet entertaining roadster from Triumph, and the new RS tries to take the same personality of Street Triple a notch higher. The RS looks quite similar to the Street Triple S, but it's got nice looking LED DRLs up front, fatter forks from Showa, and high quality Öhlins STX 40 shock at the rear. Suspension is fully adjustable and offers slightly more travel as well. The overall dimensions are more or less similar, with the same compact size and easy ergonomics. Biggest change though is the all-new full-color TFT instrument console. It's got wide range of information on display, including different themes, each for different styles, and it's easy to use the menu.
Now we have here with us a new Triumph Street Triple RS, the top of the line variant of the new Street Triple range. The silhouette, it looks similar to the base Street Triple S, but there are subtle changes. For example, the RS badge here, of course the obvious change, but it's got better equipment. It's got Showa big piston forks up front, better 4-piston Brembo monoblock calipers. It's got ride-by-wire but 5 different riding modes: road, range, sport, track, and a programmable rider mode. And it's got switchable ABS and traction control. The engine is the same 765cc inline triple cylinder of the Street Triple S, but this one here makes slightly more power and more torque.
On the move, the RS makes its difference felt almost immediately. The engine sounds throatier, and from the get-go, the RS feels like it's a completely different character.
Now the engine on the Street Triple RS is the same 765cc inline triple cylinder as the Street Triple S, but this one here makes 121 bhp. That's a full 10 bhp more than the Street Triple S, and it makes 77 Newton meters of torque. That's 4 Newton meters more than the Street Triple S, but the torque comes at lower in the rev range. What that means is that this one feels punchier, more powerful, more eager to go.
And then there's a slippery clutch, so it has a light feel at the lever and quick shifter, so the gear changes are precise and effortless. The free revving engine gathers pace quickly, and once you cross 7,000 revs, the RS goes completely ballistic before it's time to slam on the brakes and slow down to more manageable and safe speeds. And the brakes work like a dream, with enough bite and feedback on the lever to shed speeds effortlessly.
The Street Triple RS, it may be your everyday roadster, but it's also designed with track duties in mind so that you can do occasional track rides like a sport bike. So the suspension is a little on the firm side, but that means on a daily ride, when you're doing a daily commute or negotiating traffic, The ride quality is a little on the firm side. So that means all your road undulations and your potholes, they might get a little bit to you. But the suspension again is fully adjustable. So we haven't tried any adjustments yet. But I'm sure if you want to do it on a daily basis, the suspension will work wonders if you want to do it some adjustments to the suspension. Now it looks more or less similar to the S variant, but the steering geometry is sharper. What that translates to the real world is that this one handles a little bit better than the Street Triple S. What that translates to the real world is you can take curves very nicely, it handles beautifully, and within traffic it just goes where you want to point it, like point and shoot. It just is a fantastic bike.
At 166 kg dry weight, it is sure a light, agile and fast bike. It's a naked after all, so no fairing and no wind protection. And that is the chink in its armor. The wind blast makes you feel like you're going faster than you really are, and that will be something to contend without on racetrack as well. Sure, it has enough power to contend with liter class bikes, and it has the performance and handling to bring immense joy every time you take it out on a spin. But the lack of wind protection may be a dampener if you want to explore the RS out on a racetrack.
Now the Triumph Street Triple has always been a very lovely and sweet motorcycle. The all-new Street Triple, the base variant, the S variant, retails for around 8,70,000 odd rupees ex-showroom. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a lovely bike. It's got ABS, ride-by-wire, traction control, everything. This one, the Street Triple R as a top-of-the-line variant, takes it to a whole new level altogether. It's got 5 riding modes. You can do a daily commute on it. You can tour on it. You can also do occasional track days on it. At 10,55,000 rupees, the Street Triple RS is probably one of the best roadsters money can buy.
We certainly had a lot of fun riding the new Triumph Street Triple RS. If you think a compact, lightweight, high-performance roadster is the kind of bike for you, by all means take a closer look at the RS. And while you're at it, take a test ride as well.
Commercial break time here. We come back with answers to your questions as always on Bazaar Buzz. Keep watching.